Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Lou. You are listening to the Raptors Reaction Podcast presented by Betway for all your sports betting activities. Hit the QR code that you see on the screen or follow the link you see in the description of the episode. As always, we're going live on YouTube and also on twitter.com. So make sure you subscribe. And you'll get a little notification each time that we go live. I know there's only like 8 more games left in this season, but it's been a really, really fun time going live and chatting with people before, during, after games. So, just wanted to make that reminder at the start. Raptors win tonight 108-97 against the Charlotte Hornets. I know that people are confused. People are wondering why it is that the Raptors keep wanting to tank, and yet the Raptors keep continuing to pick up wins. This is actually their 3rd win in a row here. And I think it really boils down to one thing. The Raptors defensively have just been really, really good. The other thing is that obviously the opposing teams have become really weak. I mean, come on now. It's a lot of Charlotte Hornets and Washington Wizards these days. But at the same time, I think defensively, this team has really competed. It's pretty incredible to see the numbers that the Raptors are number 1 in the defense over the last 2 months. I think that doesn't just happen by accident. And I don't want to say that any of it doesn't mean anything just because A, that they're looking to lose, or B, that they're playing against sub-tier opponents. I mean, of course, that's going to factor in. But I don't think, again, you don't play great defense by accident. You play great defense because you work hard at it. You set a culture for it. You have leaders who, establish that intensity, that set the tone. And that's what you keep seeing night in and night out. Obviously Scottie Barnes is not going to be sitting any games, and if he's in a while, because he, unlike Jakob and IQ and RJ, who have been cycled in and out, I mean, even Ochai Agbaji got the dreaded rest tonight, so even he's getting some time to sit and chill. Scottie Barnes is not chilled, and Scottie Barnes has, brought that defensive intensity all season, but especially since that mid-year turnaround, around the turn of the calendar when the Raptors really started guarding. And that's led to the team basically playing 500 ball from that point onward. And, of course, you throw in some poor opponents, you're going to buff up your wins. But, again, you don't succeed on defense by accident. It was a really, really great defensive display from Scottie Barnes, from Jamal Shead, once again. And Jamal, I thought, he just continues to stand out. He continues to shine. The Raptors brought in 5 rookies last year, and Jamal has clear cut to me emerged as that leader for that group. When you see the second unit being played with guys like Jamal Shead, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle, Jakob Poeltl, they're 4 rookies plus Orlando Robinson. Probably would have been all Shamshe, honestly, if he didn't hurt his knee. We could have literally seen all 5 of the rookies in the draft class together on the floor in certain lineups. But when you see them all together on the floor, it's all Jamal Shead. In terms of the leadership, in terms of the guy who sets the tone for the team, in terms of, who's actually running the offense for them. And, it's just a clear, brilliant presence. And I thought the play of the game tonight was Jamal Shead picking up full court and forcing an 8-second violation with about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And, the entire bench is up and cheering for him. You got RJ Barrett, who's obviously in street clothes because he's being rested tonight. He's up on his feet, doing a defensive slide, as a celebration. You're seeing, again, everybody on that bench, Scottie on down, Garrett Temple, of course, like those guys all really, really celebrating and cheering that on. That's the culture that this team is setting. And I think that's a testament to what Darko has done. I think that the start of the season clearly was quite rocky. Raptors had a lot of injuries, but also the Raptors weren't playing defense at all. It's incredible. Like, before the Raptors turned it around defensively, they were the worst team in the NBA defensively. They've been 2 different teams on the defensive end. Second half of the season, they've been number 1 or floating in that top 5 range. And before that, they were terrible. So credit to the coaching staff, credit to the players themselves, the leaders especially, for leading the way. And, like, I know that, you would like to see tanking. But again, a lot of tanking happens because you have young teams who have no real aim going out there, no real stability, no real game plan, and more importantly, no actual defensive intensity or organization. You look at Charlotte, the Washington Wizards. for example. They just gave up 162 points last night. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you tank. You just don't care. And that's a good sign of not caring, is when you don't play defense. Raptors care. And say what you want about the whole situation, but they care. And it's going to be really hard after drilling it into these players all season that, hey, you know what? We're going to set a culture. We're going to use this season for development. We're going to help you guys establish yourself as, NBA players, future NBA players, and all these incoming rookies. I think all of them have a good future in this league to varying degrees. You have young players who are trying to go out there and get contract extensions. You have young players who have just got paid, but they want to establish their presence in the league. There's always something to play for when these guys step on the court. And to be honest, like, yes, it does cost you in terms of, where the Raptors are going to be in the lottery. Looks like most likely they're going to be in 7th. But at the same time, I think that there is the value of setting that culture for years to come. And, they're in a good groove. And honestly, I just can't wait for next season to roll around, because if they're able to maintain this same intensity, this same togetherness, you add in a couple more pieces, you add in Brandon Ingram, you add in their first round pick that they get in from next year, and then they still play defense to this degree, I think that this team can be quite competitive, But again, as of right now, you are seeing the foundations being laid. And so, yes, it might cost you the best chance to pick up, whatever. But I feel like whether that's Washington, whether that's, Utah, whether that's Charlotte, who we saw tonight, any of these teams, when they're trying to, bring in their lottery talent and then they're trying to flip a switch to say we're winning, I don't really believe that, especially not for young teams. Maybe for old teams, I believe flipping a switch, because guys know what to do. Sometimes their old teams just get a little lazy and they lock in, they play a little harder, whatever. But for young teams, I feel like you actually have to learn how to win. And of course, the lottery only rewards people that learn how to lose. So that's the part that's frustrating. But also at the same time, I'm not going to complain with the efforts that we're seeing tonight. So the two guys I really wanted to highlight tonight were Jakob Poeltl and Jamal Shead. I thought IQ actually played really well too. Some good defensive rotations. I thought he was aggressive looking the shot. Thought the two-man game, the Raptors played a lot of pick and roll tonight, and it looked really good every time they ran it. I thought Scotty did a great job, again, on both ends of the floor. Did a great job guarding Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges went 4 of 20 from the field. I mean, goodness, man. 4 of 20 from the field. And that's what Scotty Barnes does. He takes a guy like Bridges who can score and can bully people and certainly will get shots up. But certainly without LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, that's going to be their number one option. To see Scotty Barnes take on that assignment and lock him down to 4 of 20 from the field. And of course, credit to other guys for helping out. I thought Jakob did a great job helping out. Orlando Robinson did a great job helping out for the second unit. But still, that's really impressive, and it really couldn't have happened to a worse guy. So shouts to Miles Bridges for that. But the two guys I wanted to highlight tonight were Jakob Poeltl and Jamal Shead. Jakob, you really just gained an appreciation for Jakob Poeltl this season. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists in 26 minutes. He goes 12 of 14 from the field. 1 block, 1 turnover. Jakob tonight was just a picture of efficiency, going to the basket over and over and over again. In all these different pick and roll scenario, whether he was catching it, right at the rim for a dunk. There's one play where he dunked over 3 Charlotte Hornets. Whether that was on the short roll where he catches it probably around the free throw line, maybe with momentum going downhill, and then using a slight little up fake, lifting his defender and then stepping through, reverse finishes, with his other hand, going under the basket to prevent the shot block to go to the other side of the rim. Just the dexterity, the finesse, the floater, of course, that he always, has. I mean, if anybody on the Raptors has a signature shot, it's Jakob Poeltl. The floater for him is just money. It's not a highlight play. Again, you'll never see Jakob Poeltl plays in a highlight reel, but to see Jakob work the way that he does, it's really unique as a big. As a role man, as somebody who doesn't really take anything off the table, as someone who doesn't need the ball, someone who does a great job screening to get other guys open too, who can facilitate out the high post. But when he's rolling and there's that chance for IQ, who tonight he was knocking down the threes and, it was a threat to get downhill as well, although he wasn't as efficient in the 2-point range as he was from 3. When IQ's hitting 5 of 8 from 3, I mean, they're running those dribble handoffs or they're running pick and roll with, 2 guys coming up. to IQ because they're trying to prevent him from getting the three off. Or when he turns the corner, the big sliding over to IQ because they don't want him to get to the rim. There's that space for Jakob to attack. And man, Jakob just has chemistry with everybody. Like he's great with all these guys. He's great with Scotty too. So I just feel like Jakob just deserves that kind of credit. Jakob obviously hunts on the offensive glass. He competes on the defensive end as well. And yeah, I mean, it's been a career year for Jakob. And the thing is, like, Jakob has done something similar to this in the past because, as always, the stats never like jump off the page. He is averaging career highs in points and rebounds and assists, but, he's had seasons like, a couple years ago, he was averaging 13, 9, 3, and 2 blocks with San Antonio shooting 62% from the floor. So I think that what Jakob's shown is that he has a high baseline, but it's also right now, it's like he's like playing every other night. He gets a night off here, he gets a night off there. But every time Jakob plays, man, you just see the impact that he has on this team. And again, all that, efficiency, all that output in that short amount of time, it just, I mean, he's been honestly like, I mean, Scotty's my MVP of the season, but Jakob is right there, like 1A, 1B for who has been the most impactful Raptors. And I don't think anybody would have predicted that for Jakob Poeltl coming into the season. And then, of course, people may have seen this in terms of like the optimism for Jamal Shead. But I think that this is still such an encouraging sign for Jamal. The leadership that he assumes over this team, especially for that second unit. I mean, it's really, really well done. I think that he brings a level of organization, which you always want to see from the point guard position. He's starting to limit his turnovers too. I like that tonight. He played 22 minutes, had the ball a ton, and had 0 turnovers. I feel like that's something where Jamal, where at the start of the season, he was leaving his feet a lot to pass, and he's always playing at 100 miles per hour, and sometimes that leads to a lot of inaccurate passing. I thought tonight he was really under control. I think he really got the 3 down as well. I mean, tonight he went 1 for 7 from 3, but I think what I mean by that is he's got the rhythm of the 3 down, like when to sort of like take the pull-up 3, when to take the catch and shoot 3, not taking bad shots. He's not taking any bad threes. And of course, like, I think that's what's helped his efficiency rise up, because at the start of the season, he was really struggling from 3. It looked like he was heaving at the basket or whatever, but I also think that the game was just a little too quick for him. I think the more that he's adjusted to the space, that is afforded to him in the NBA, he obviously went down to the G League as well for about, just to get some seasoning there. The Raptors always intended to move on from Davion Mitchell, even though Davion, I thought, did a good job as a Raptor. Certainly no complaints. But Davion, once he got moved on as well, like the minutes were going to go to Jamal Shead. And Jamal has just taken that opportunity and ran with it, man. I mean, he's been so solid. And it's rare to see rookies who exude calm. But the Raptors actually have 2 of those guys, I feel like, for me. I feel like Jakob Poeltl also does the same thing. Thought Jacoby tonight, not as big of an offensive performance, but Jacoby did a great job on the defensive end, tonight, especially with him getting the start with RJ resting. He had 11 points in 29 minutes, which is good, but I thought the defensive effort for him to chase around and be guarding the ball the most for that starting lineup, guarding the opposing point guard, he did a great job. Shows great versatility. He's able to extend his defense. He competed really hard. But Jamal was actually the guy who really shouted that out, because when he got the walk-off interview with Savannah Hamilton after the game, he talked about how he was really inspired by, what Jacoby was doing for the starting lineup. And to me, that's leadership. I mean, that's like really good, like, just the emotional intelligence to sort of like lead, because there is an emotional intelligence required to lead. And I think that just him using that opportunity, I guess, in the spotlight when you're getting that post-game interview, to show love to some of his teammates as well. I love that. It's something Scotty does a lot too, but seeing Jamal sort of like, guard, seeing the way that people respond to him, when you see him in the gym, he's just always a presence. I think that they've done a really good job with those 2 guys. And yeah, I mean, again, like it's just a win over the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are 18-57, so it's not exactly like this is like some sort of banner win. And I'm sure some people are probably still, confused as to why the Raptors are winning games. But like I explained, they set a good culture here. They're defending. That's going to lead to them winning a lot of games. And quite frankly, the Raptors, to me, I feel confident that they're on their way, towards developing something that actually works. And I'm just hoping that when we get to do this whole thing over again next year, when we have a fresh slate, when we're not necessarily coming into the year talking about rebuilding and talking about like, how we can lose games down the stretch and abandoning, playing in playoffs or whatever. When they just get a chance to play next year and see if they put it all together, that's for me the part that I'm curious about, because I'm seeing good progress for a lot of these guys, and more importantly, I'm seeing a really healthy organization. The last couple of years, 2 seasons ago, the one that ended in the play-in game, that year towards the end of the year, obviously the whole year actually, that was just off, that whole season. Nick Nurse's last season, Fred VanVleet's last season. The last year was certainly off. Right, Pascal, the whole contract extension didn't work out. The front office seemed to just pull that off the table. And so that left a rift there. I thought OG had his eye turned. You know what I mean? He was having the Trent Alexander-Arnold season, basically, going to Real Madrid, in this case, going to New York Knicks. Certainly felt like he had to step out the door on that front. Bringing Dennis Schroeder in as the point guard. Basically assuming him as the leader, even though he was just brought in. Like, I just didn't think that was the right appointment. So, like, so many things went wrong. And, of course, the Jonte Porter situation, bringing a new head coach. This year, they've actually got their chance to actually just work. And I think the start of the season, they got banged up, and that really led to a delay in what they could do. But ultimately, I'm really encouraged. And I know that it's going to lead to less lottery balls. But, I think the organization is in a pretty healthy spot right now. And I'm just curious to see what else to add to it. A couple other things just before we get to co-host Alex Wong, who's going to come in with a fresh 6-pack here. I thought Jonathan Mobile actually was super confident with the 3, which I really liked. Not necessarily just like shooting a bunch of 3s, but I think just being confident on offense. Charlotte actually had quite a bit of size out there, especially with this backup lineup with Moussa Diabate and Yusuf Nurkic. Like, that's actually a lot of size. Diabate is like 6'10" with like super, super long arms. Pretty freakishly athletic too. But I thought Jonathan actually was actually really aggressive. Now, he didn't convert a lot. He was 2 of 8 from the field. But I thought he actually was a factor on defense. He wasn't a non-factor on the offensive end. And I feel like, it's all about baby steps. You know what I mean? I thought that he took the right opportunities to attack. Aside from that, just a solid effort all the way around. And, it was actually a pretty fun game, all things considered. So, let's bring in Alex Wong, who has been watching a movie off to the side, buddy. What have you been watching, bro?
Yo, what's going on, man? I just turned on the most recent Royal Rumble, just kind of rewatching it on mute.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Big wrestling head this year, Wrestling is in right now.
I was going to say, every other conversation between you and Jordan right now are about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off, though, because I'm locked in. Friday. Everybody's excited in the chat. Got a fresh 6-pack. Yeah, I don't have really anything to add about the Raptors.
Yo, tell the truth. Did you watch Jays or Raptors tonight?
I was watching the Jays, yeah.
How did
Jays were on Apple TV.
How did our Jays do, baby?
They're up. Shouts to the Jays. They're up 8-2 right now in the 9th.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like 1 out left, or they probably won already. Yeah. Well, I went to opening day yesterday, and they lost 12-2, so that was great.
Weren't they down like 6-0 after 2 innings?
Yeah,
or something?
it was tough, man.
We can't get one good team in the city. Goddamn.
Shouts to the Jays for inviting me. I'm like, who do I even post?
Oh, you got invited?
Oh my god, it was tough.
Influencer bag.
Anyways, yeah, I'll be there all weekend. I hope they.
You actually will be there all weekend. Like, you'll be there tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, I hope they win tomorrow and Sunday, man. Holy, I don't want to see my nephews crying again, man.
Hey, by the way, shouts to you with the. This is not even old school Jays hat, because obviously Jays are like 50 years old now. But like,
yeah,
this is like that Alex Rios, Vernon Wells, like.
Yeah. This is like back in the day.
Shea Hillenbrand, like that's that. That's my era of the Blue Jays, man.
Yeah, PSA hat era is done, man.
Yeah?
We're tired of that shit. No, I might bring it back tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. 6-pack.
Let's go.
6-pack. Put up that damn banner. Get me some more letterbox followers. Follow me on Steven LeBron.
Come on, man. You still want that? All right.
Yeah, watch Sing Sing last night, 4 stars.
Yo, what? Only 4?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
4's not good enough? What? That has to be a 5-star movie?
LeBron.
That's utter woke nonsense. No reviews, though. I'm only starring right now. I didn't write any reviews. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you want to hear?
Sing Sing is really good, by the way, guys. Go watch Sing Sing. Okay?
You want to hear? Really
nice film.
So I actually wrote down like my criteria for 0 to 5 stars. Do you want to
Okay.
hear this?
Let's hear this. Yeah.
Okay. 0 stars is the worst movie ever.
What is
Like,
the
I'm
worst
not
movie?
giving-
Like, what's contender
I don't
for,
know,
like,
but
worst
it would
movie ever for
technically
you?
have to be the worst movie ever to get 0 stars.
Okay. That's
Like,
fair.
it's going to take a lot for me to give it 0 stars.
Okay.
Like, it literally has to be the worst movie ever made, and I don't think I'll ever watch that movie. So 0.5 is the second worst movie, 1 is the third worst, 1.5 is fourth worst. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to give anything less than a 2.
Okay. This is,
Like-
by the way, this is like the NBA dunk contest because
Yeah.
for the longest time, they only had numbers 6 through 10 to hold
Right,
up.
right, yeah.
And now they can only rate things from like 40 to 50. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is
Like
with the art of...
40 is the new 0. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, what
40
are
is
we
the new
doing?
0.
Why are we grading every dunk on a bell curve? man?
Yeah. So, like, everybody obviously has their own letterbox, like, approach. So for me, it starts with 2 stars. 2 stars is a generally terrible movie. Like, a generally terrible movie, like, I did not have a good time.
Okay.
2.5 is if I watch a movie and I'm like, this movie is just not good. So not terrible.
All right.
Yeah. 3 is like, it's okay, but I'm never going to watch it again. Like, it didn't move me.
Zero rewatchability.
Yeah,
but
yeah. 3 is like, it's
acceptable
okay.
piece of film. Okay.
Yeah. 3.5, it's like, it's an above average movie, but I'm not sure I would recommend it to somebody.
You enjoy that in private.
Yeah. 4 is like, it's a really good movie, but I don't consider it a classic.
Okay. Okay.
So
that's fair.
So that's where I put Sing Sing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. 4.5, I didn't really have an explanation for this one. I got to work on that one. It's really hard to land on a... It's really hard to land on a 4.5.
Watch it on a plane.
Yeah, 4.5 is really hard to land, like, on an explanation. 5, it's either a personal favorite or just, like, a great... I feel like 5 is just, like, personal favorites.
Well, I mean, you have Weed the North from prehistoric to historic as a 5-star.
Yeah, because I was involved in it.
Okay, there you go. Personal involvement. Okay.
I saw a friend give it 2.5, man.
Friend?
That's an ex-friend.
I was going to say, man.
I was like, y'all don't gotta be, like, so rude about it.
That's rude, man. That's
No,
rude.
that's so funny, man. This is like if we were a sports net. Like, I would be giving Raptors Delight 5 stars.
Nah.
I also have a problem with, like, because, you
No
know,
comment.
like, I finished watching Adolescence on Netflix. I know you watched it. You watched it too.
Yeah.
So they consider that a movie. Like, it's on Letterboxd. That's not a movie.
That's not a movie,
That's
man.
a 4-part TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, not to get too deep into this, like, I'm not logging Adolescence on Letterboxd. Yeah.
Okay, what about Speed? How many stars for Speed?
Oh, Speed's a 5-star. So Speed's a 5-star for me, right? Like, it could be a 3-star movie to somebody else.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you have personal favorites
Yeah.
that probably aren't considered, like, classics.
Yeah, like I put Hitch as a 5-star.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hated Hitch when I made you watch Hitch, man.
Somebody, this is someone's review.
2.5, no rewatchability, and I hated Alex's outfit.
Yo, I hated my fit, man. Holy.
Oh,
All right, 6-pack.
Let's go. NBA 6-pack. What we got?
Number 1, did you see Chris Haynes' 13-minute clip?
Oh, brother.
Of his
Can you?
podcast? No, we're not doing that one.
Can you summarize what he did?
No. For everyone who wants to see this, it's not part of the 6-pack. Go to Chris Haynes' Twitter and check out a clip that he posted from his podcast, Haynes Briefs. It's an insane story, actually.
By the way, what do you think of him calling them Haynes briefs?
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing an underwear commercial.
Why did he pick Haynes briefs?
Do you think he's aware of that?
No, I mean, of course he's aware. Like,
Yeah.
but he doesn't. To my knowledge, he doesn't actually have the sponsorship. So
Yeah.
he's just he's doing it as a tongue in cheek, which I actually quite like.
We don't have like, you know, crazy backdrops, but like, what do you think about his backdrop of the Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam arcade in his videos?
I think you know
and
what.
of course, a signed Dame Lillard jersey.
Oh yeah, well come on.
We're
man.
all trying to find out who Dame leaks his stuff to.
My favorite thing is when he says sources. Somebody told me about Dame, and I'm like, you mean Dame Lillard told
No,
you
it's
about
like
Dame?
3 minutes after a Bucks loss. Sources say Dame Lillard stood up and talked to the team after the game.
Yo, Dame might as well just tweet it out himself, man. I mean, at this point, like,
Yeah.
who can't see you through that? No, I mean, I think the one thing with podcast backgrounds for a lot of
Yeah.
people's studios is just
Yeah.
like everyone tries to go for like the quote unquote man cave feeling.
Right. Yeah. So
Um,
like, what's the key? What are the 3 essentials for like a man cave backdrop, you think?
Key essentials for man cave backdrop. Usually some sort of framed like jersey.
Jersey for sure.
Yeah, actually,
Like-
I think Haynes kind of hits it out the park. Actually, exposed brick is a key one.
Oh, okay.
People love like showing a bit of an exposed
Okay,
brick.
that's
you know?
like
It's hey, we're
that's-
potting from a garage
okay.
kind of situation.
It's like an aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay,
I
okay.
think like I think the NBA Jam, like I guess I don't know, because it feels like to me it's like it feels disingenuous. Like you're not actually going to be using that. You know what I mean? It's like the books behind you. You don't actually read those
Yo,
books.
come on, man. Who are you? That random guy in the chat
You don't be
who told us
reading.
to name 10 books.
No, but like I just feel like people aren't really like locking in and playing NBA Jam on one of those like big boxes.
So it's a
anymore.
look, you're saying.
It's a look, yeah. They're trying to go for the vibe. It's like you're trying to decorate a barbershop.
Right.
Kind
I
of,
feel
yeah.
like a lot of them have like basketballs too. Like or
Yeah,
people
yeah,
like
yeah.
or like for sports writers, especially like you to throw up some credentials.
Oh, the credential wall. That's a great one.
Credentials is
Shouts to
credentials.
Jerome, but Jerome got a credential.
Oh, does
wall.
Jerome have one?
Yeah.
But like the credential one is a big one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. I guess that's it. Most people do have like a stack of books. Like a small stack of like sports books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the wave.
Bring
All right.
my little Hong Ching basketball, you know.
Oh, yeah,
All
there
right,
we
go ahead,
go.
go ahead.
Yeah, I literally
what-
have that slightly out of frame.
Hey, basically, yeah, so Chris Haynes did a brief. He explained over because his briefs are usually like some sort of NBA breaking news.
Yeah.
But then tonight he explained that like he has a house in Atlanta
Yeah.
that he bought for his kids to go to school there, and then his kids
Yeah.
were not there for the summer, so it was vacant, and so there was a bunch of squatters in there. And then he was like trying to like personally evict these squatters like by force because the law wouldn't allow him to or something.
He called the police, and the police was
Yeah.
like, "We can't do anything about it. They've been squatting
Mm-hmm.
here for 2 weeks."
Right.
And Chris Haynes basically, and they were driving his car, like he had a car there, and they just took the keys and were driving it around.
Hey, yo.
And then when Chris,
That is a pretty crazy story, I
this
gotta
wasn't
say.
my experience in Atlanta.
No,
And then when Chris told them they had 1 hour, he's like, "You have 1 hour, or there's gonna be some real problems."
yeah, Chris Haynes is describing himself like John Wick, man. It was killing me.
Honestly, it sounded like a John Woo movie. You guys should watch that 13-minute clip. It's really worth watching. I actually don't want to spoil the details,
Yeah.
but I was like enthralled. Like that made my week.
I honestly I
Anyways.
didn't know Chris Haynes moved like that, but shouts to Chris Haynes, I suppose.
Yeah. Shouts to Chris Haynes. Yeah, that's not even part of the six pack. So number one
Okay.
is the Memphis Grizzlies today called head coach Taylor Jenkins into his office and fired him in person. With 9 games left in the season, they are the 5th seed right now in the Western Conference. This is, I think, the latest a head coach has been fired since Paul Silas was coaching a young LeBron
Wow.
in Cleveland.
Wow.
And they have named assistant coach Tuomas Isalo. as
Say that again, man. Say that again. Just say it with confidence.
Tuomas Isalo as the interim head coach.
Why did that take 10 minutes for you to say?
He's from Finland.
Yeah, clearly.
And yeah, no, this was a pretty shocking thing because of the timing.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I mean, the Grizzlies have been struggling since the All-Star break. They
Oh,
have
hell
not
yeah,
beat
yeah.
they have not beat a team with a winning record since February.
Mhm.
And it actually goes back because the
And
last
by the way, that team was a Dallas
was the
Mavericks.
Mavs. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Mavs. I think they lost 3 straight games to buzzer beaters recently.
Mhm.
Like there was just a lot of question about their late game
Yep.
execution. Desmond Bane and my guy Santi Aldama was fighting in the huddle
Hey, man, that's
in
crazy.
the last game. It seems like I was reading some just local like Memphis reporters were just saying that I guess Taylor Jenkins had lost the locker room,
Mhm.
things like that. I mean, they still could have just done this in the offseason.
Yeah, but you have a whole playoffs ahead of you.
Yeah, but it's not like the Grizzlies are doing anything in the playoffs.
Well,
Like, I would-
that's kind of the issue, right?
No,
Because
but-
they've been the number 2 seed twice now, so like
Yeah.
them being 5th in the West isn't like exciting to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but-
and then if you don't feel confident in your coach, you don't feel confident in your coach.
Okay, but this is different from like remember when they fired who did they fire? David Blatt
Yeah.
mid-season. Like not
Yeah.
late in the season.
But that was
It
like
pretty
December.
early.
That was
Yeah.
like December.
But I
yeah.
remember they were like 30-12 or something. Like they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
really good.
I
Brought
mean, this
in
happened
Ty
last
Lue.
year with Adrian Griffin.
Yeah,
The Bucks were like 33 and
exactly.
13, and they were like,
Right.
yeah, we're gonna bring in Doc.
Again, that was more mid-season, right? But I get the Cavs move at the time because you had a team that was like contending for a championship.
Hmm.
And of course they went on to win the championship. Memphis is not doing anything like no, but like
So you're saying they should just roll with it,
no, but
Oasis style?
it's not that dire that you've like what's this move going to do? Like they're going to win maybe one round max. I see them maybe being out in the first round probably.
Yeah,
But like
well,
it's not a team that is a one coaching change away that's so dire that you're going to go win a championship now. It just seems like this could have been done in the offseason, whatever the issues are.
yeah, no, listen, I hear you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, first off, no one really watches Memphis that closely to keep great tabs on them. But if you think back on it, it's like when it was the summertime, they let go of most of his assistants and they brought in a whole fresh crew of assistants. I feel like that's always a good sign of like, we don't really want to fire you, but like we're getting ready to fire you. You know what I mean? So they're already doing that. I think that they changed their offense entirely, but it didn't feel like that was Jenkins' idea to change the
what was
offense.
the thing you kept talking about? Like they don't
No
use
ball
screens,
man.
Yeah, no ball screens. Taylor Jenkins said no ball up top.
So I think it's been summarized as like the wheel.
Okay.
Not to make this sound like Mad Men,
Yeah. You're gonna make me cry. Yeah.
It's not a wheel.
Yeah.
It's a carousel.
Yeah,
They were running that carousel offense where someone would drive and then someone would cut into the space behind the drive and then, sort of like people would cycle positions around the court. Basically like a very innovative idea that came from like Division III basketball, which was really cool. This guy, Thomas, who coached overseas, was also hailed as a very innovative coach. He certainly had a big part to play here. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he's ended up as interim coach. But basically they identified like, we don't like the way you run the offense. Midway through the season, they were like, the defense kind of sucks. We need you to change the defense. We've already changed all your assistants. And it's like, the only thing is they just waited too long to actually make this kind of move.
Yeah.
But then again, they've had so many issues recently that like, I do feel bad for Jenkins though, because I feel like he certainly did a great job developing a lot of their talent. Then the Grizzlies are really underrated in how they just like spawn talent out of nowhere. Of course, like when you get top overall picks and you get John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr., like that's going to help your team a ton. But like the way that Desmond Bane was the 30th pick, like he was taken after Malachi. The Raptors took Malachi Flynn.
Because he was. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, was it
29 and 30th? Yeah.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
He was developed by Darko, man.
Yeah, that's actually when Dark was asked about this recently, and he was like, you worked with a lot of players. Like, who are you most proud of working with? And he said Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
And it was because the aptitude in which Desmond was willing to learn and then apply something in the game, which is really cool. But Desmond Bane, Vince Williams, G.G. Jackson, Scottie Pippen Jr. has had a really good season. Every time I watch the Grizzlies, he's a huge positive for them. They just spawn these guys. I don't know, or Santi Aldama. You know what I mean? Like when they have later picks, it's like Zach Edey. It's like they've done a great job.
They're like not to be a baseball head, but they're like the Tampa Bay Rays, man. It's like every year they're really good, and they got players that like just you don't even think about, or you look at the roster and like, listen, I know they have good players at the top, but even like Morant's been hurt a lot this year. Like he's been.
He's also not been that good.
Yeah, he's been a little different this year, but like. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Maybe there's something more to this that we'll find out. But if it's just a pure like basketball move because they just weren't happy with the way the team was playing, they were like, the coach had lost them and stuff. It's still just weird.
Yeah,
it must have gotten really bad for it to be like 9 games left to make a move.
It did seem pretty bad. I mean, the timing's not ideal, but I think also, Darmichael Cole, who writes for the Memphis Commercial Appeal, he actually wrote a pretty good summation of what happened there.
Okay.
So I recommend people look up that article if you're that inclined to learn about the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. But I also circle back to like people don't care about the Grizzlies that much. So
yeah. No, it's
But I do wonder if John Moran asks out because one of the biggest things is like they did run away from ball screens and they're like
I'm talking about that, man. I'm sorry, man. James Herbert, I think, wrote a great story about their offense. You should check it out. Yeah,
he absolutely did.
You guys check it out. Yeah.
One thing about when you stop running pick and rolls is just like, well, you take a lot away from what Ja Morant does best,
right,
and also what Zach Edey probably does best as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
it's just so funny, man. Now they got like a 2-week training camp to get ready for the playoffs.
They're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna run ball screens now. Teams are gonna be like, oh no, a pick and roll. I've never seen one.
the trickle down effect too is now there's a lot of buzz because like Taylor Jenkins was a really good coach, like you mentioned, like outside of
Yeah.
playoff results, however you want to evaluate them.
Hmm.
So now there's talk that maybe Sacramento could be a destination because they had just brought on Doug Christie
Right.
this season. Philadelphia is getting some buzz because I
Hey.
know the Sixers might want to make a change there with Nick Nurse. So
It's probably gonna happen.
yeah,
Probably
so
gonna happen.
We'll see what happens with that.
Hmm.
Or maybe Taylor Jenkins can come and be Darko's assistant, man. Flip the script.
Hey, that's awkward, man. That's pretty awkward.
He'll flip the script. I'm sure that's happened before. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think now. Well, it's like Darvin Ham going back to Milwaukee
Yo,
as an assistant.
by the way, so
Pockets.
dude, okay, so recently there was I think Doc Rivers crashed out, and I don't know if he got ejected or something, but he was
I
like on the
saw
court
that
complaining.
There's a video, right?
And like Darvin Ham is like his lead assistant, so he's trying to like his job is to like reel him in. You know, like all right, let's go, let's get out of here, dog. And like some Laker fan pointed out just how many times Darvin Ham took his hand out of his pocket and put it back in, and it was like a 30-second clip. He probably did it like 10 times. It
Like a
was freaking
smoking
me
addiction.
out.
Yo, he acting like he got pocket aces in there.
Yo, he
He
just
can't let them go.
He's just going back and forth. It's
Yo.
killing me, man.
He needs to get pants without pockets. He legit needs pocketless pants.
No, he's like nicotine, but like for pants, like
No,
with
but
pockets.
then he'll start stuffing his hands in the air in his shirt pocket.
It's just killing me, man.
Oh man. Anyways,
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins out in Memphis.
Yeah.
Next up, Adam Silver, Board of Governors meeting yesterday, did a press conference after. Couple of things. Number one, he admitted that the All-Star Game format this year was a miss. He says, quote, "We're not there in terms of creating an experience that we're proud of and that players can be proud of. So they are scrapping the tournament format for next season."
Wow. Even after they fixed the 4 teams, remember they fixed the draft?
That was stupid, too.
That's so dumb.
Possibly, there's been some talk, possibly they might, because the NHL had a lot of success with the 4 nations.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly going to like, U.S., international teams, whatever that is.
Yo, by the way, for that idea, I think Netflix did it perfectly. We have we have Team USA, Team Canada, Team France, and Team Serbia.
Right.
That's perfect.
Are we leaving
quarter
out,
gold
Are
style,
we leaving out
basically.
too many countries? Other countries, though?
I mean, technically, like Luka is Slovenian, so he wouldn't.
They
be
might
able to
just
play
need
for
a
the team.
fifth team of just like assorted. Yeah.
They might just do like, Team USA, Team Canada, Team Europe, and Team World.
Right. Just to be,
I
inclusive.
guess rest of the world. I don't know.
Yeah. We need a DEI team. Anyways, what else did he say? They're looking into like starting a European league
Yeah.
with FIBA.
Yeah.
So that's another talk. And then he was asked about expansion too, and he said that he'll have more updates in the summer. But it's looking like the next 2 destinations, I think people know already, is like Seattle and Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was asked about Stephen A. Smith's back and forth with LeBron. And he said, quote, "Sometimes it seems that in other sports, when I watch the coverage, it seems to be more celebratory."
Mm.
So those are all the main points from Silver's presser. Anything from there stand out to you?
Why did he do a presser?
I guess it's like the annual like Board of Governors meeting.
Oh, okay.
So then
Got you.
I guess the main topics was like, the Celtics sale
Mhm.
and like the Timberwolves recently got sold to A-Rod's team. But
Right.
apparently Glenn Taylor's taking them to court. Yeah. I don't really
Yeah, I
care
don't know.
about
That-
this.
that-
I'd rather talk about Memphis ball screen.
Yo, we finally found a topic that you care about less than Grizzlies making ball
Remember
screens.
when the Knicks sued the Raptors? That was tough. That was tough content, man.
That was pretty tough, man.
That was tough.
All
content.
over a video coordinator. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but anything from Silver's presser.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the
Movie.
NBA Europe looks like.
Right.
That league that they want to run there. I don't think that there's gonna be like that much crossover in terms of I don't think like Real Madrid's suddenly gonna join the NBA or anything like that.
Sure.
But I would be interested to see, I guess, how the NBA steps into that because obviously the existing formats are quite popular, or quite established at least I would say. But again, like I think that some sort of integration from the NBA, whether that's just to like even just show more EuroLeague games, I would have loved that. You know, like it's actually pretty hard to watch EuroLeague. I feel like you'd have to search out different products. There's something like Courtside 1871 or something. I don't know. Sounds like a
What?
beer.
Yeah.
It sounds like Cronenberg 1889 or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
like
crazy.
it's yeah, like some sort of like product integration to like allow us to watch more of those games that are being played in Europe. I actually really do enjoy watching EuroLeague basketball when I get a chance to see it.
There's a lot of talent overseas, man.
Yeah,
like,
name them.
Serge Ibaka.
Oh, they're very good, very good. Shouts to the
There we
Raptors, legend. But
Yeah, what's Rudy Fernandez saying, man?
no, but I think especially too is like a lot of like the influential basketball styles. I mean, obviously some of the best players right now are coming from Europe anyway, with Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Wemby, et cetera, et cetera. So like, but it's also like the philosophies that are coming from there in terms of like the coaching styles. I mean, we obviously have Darko, for example, with the Raptors. But even a lot of these ideas, you know what I mean? Like the Grizzlies coach now is also somebody who has had success in Europe as well. So I think it would just be cool, just in general. Basketball is such a globalized sport anyway. And as much as everyone wants to watch the NBA, it's not realistic for a lot of European fans unless they want to stay up until like crazy early in the morning or crazy late at night. And it's the same thing with like, fans in Asia and fans in Africa as well. So I think it's just a good idea in general. I like it. It's almost like a layup for the NBA.
Someone in the chat asked if it would be existing or new Euro teams. So I think the NBA does want to just start their own teams. But I think they're going to try to have conversations to see if some of these existing big teams want to just like be part of this league or whatever. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, no NBA players are going to go over there to watch it though, because they'll have to go through customs, their least favorite activity of all time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no former Raptor players have been interviewed since the last time we chatted.
Thank God. I even saw Kevin Pillar's comments about customs.
Our boy JD Bunkus asked Kevin Pillar, former Blue Jay, about it. You know what? I respect the content farming.
Oh man.
All right, number 3. So I'm sure we all saw the crazy Bulls-Lakers ending the other night, ending with Josh Giddey hitting a half-court shot to win the game. So his shot was from 47 feet. So there's been 7 other buzzer beaters that have been further.
Wait, like ever?
Ever, yeah. Like
buzzer
game
beaters
winning.
to win. Wow,
yeah,
okay.
to win the game. Yeah,
to win the game, because I remember like Rasheed Wallace had one, but it forced OT.
Yes, no, these are
okay.
to win the game. I'm not expecting you to get all 7. Even if you get 2, I think that's pretty good. And don't look at the chat.
I don't know if the chat will.
Okay.
Like
don't look at the chat though, because chat.
47 feet. So 47 feet is beyond half court.
Yeah. So I don't want to give you a hint because there is one that's a crazy hint. Here, I'll tell you this.
Devontae Graham had one.
Yes, Devontae Graham has the all-time furthest one.
Yes, with the Hornets. Yeah, he shot it from like his free throw line. Basically.
Yeah, 61 feet. It was measured at 61.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's the all-time. There's one you're not gonna get because it's from 1948.
Oh man.
Yeah. Bella Smalley.
Come on.
Let me check. Hold on. I need to zoom in on this logo. I believe he was playing for the Baltimore Bullets.
No,
I'm gonna go ahead and say no one's gonna be upset if I got that wrong. From 50 feet, yeah. Yo, I'm having a tough night with names, man.
Yo, he shot it from he didn't even just shoot it from the 50 feet. He shot it from the 50s.
Yo,
man.
He probably shot it underhand wearing tight ass Converses.
Jesus Christ,
His shoes probably flew out of his feet.
Theres no way that's real, man.
Yo, if I don't see video of that or the Wilt 100-point game, I don't believe it, man.
By the way, I saw someone post a video of with some footage inclusive of a game where Wilt had 90 points in 28 minutes.
And everyone's like, where's the 100-point game?
No, but at one point I watched the video, so it's like a clip from a documentary.
No, he looks insane.
He does look insane, and like it certainly looks like obviously like Wilt's an all-time great. There's no doubt about that, right? Like, but then at one point, someone was narrating part of the clip, and he was like, "Wilt once scored 16 points in 1 minute." I'm like, how?
No. Yo, how did
he score 16
Yo, hold on. We need to do the math on
man?
this, man. 60 divided by 16. That's
and there was no threes back then. That was just straight 2s and 1s.
That's like a point every 3 seconds. That's like that's insane.
That's what I'm saying. How
you're
could there
scoring
be
a 2-point basket every 6 seconds, basically.
You would need so many possessions on both ends of the floor to make that happen.
I feel like, oh man, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but some of these Wilt stories, man. Like,
was he intentionally fouled 10 times or something?
I'm just saying. Because remember that? I don't even remember. There was one time LeBron
60 points in a minute.
When LeBron was on the Heat, he had this crazy game against the Bucks where he had 16 in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and it was
okay.
like an insane sequence.
But 3 minutes is
Yeah, I
doable.
know. But
You
like,
make every shot in 3 minutes.
no,
you can
but that's
make
what I'm
16
saying.
points.
16 in 3 minutes was like insane.
Yeah.
Like, how is 16 in a minute?
I feel like 16 points.
What do they do? Just give them the ball back?
No, because back then the max you could score is 3 points in a possession for an and one. So
Yeah, yeah.
even if you assume he has an and one every
Yeah.
time down, you would still need like
Maybe pick
12
up
possessions
technicals too.
between the
Like,
two teams.
like the other coach like picked up a technical. Yeah, there must have been like a 6-point play in there.
16 in 1 minute is nuts.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so you got Devontae Graham. There's one more. I'll give you the hint. It's Raptors related that you should get.
Raptors. Was it by a Raptor or was it against the Raptors?
I don't want to say yet. Yeah.
Raptors. I don't think we've had any buzzer beaters from that far out, man.
Recent championship season.
Oh, Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah, Jeremy Lamb.
No, Charlotte Hornets have 2 of these now. That's sick.
Yeah, so Giddy's was from 47 feet. Jeremy
Yeah.
Lamb was from 48.
Wow. I remember
Yeah.
that. That was the second straight game where Jeremy Lamb had a game-winning 3 against the Raptors. But this one was crazy because I think Pascal tipped it away
24th.
from him. He had to go in the backcourt to collect it, and he heaved it and went in.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, MC Jin was in audience for that one.
Oh, okay.
That's what I remember about that.
How do you know that, man?
Because I ran into him after.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I used to be there?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
yeah, the rest of them, do you want to hear them? I mean, it's Max Strus,
Okay.
your boy Mahmoud Abdul Rauf,
Oh my God.
with a 55-footer back in 92.
That's easy. He probably shot that like a regular
Yeah,
jumper.
yeah. Julius Irving.
Julius.
Julius Irving in 86. He
Okay.
probably did a sky hook.
It was probably like a finger roll.
Yeah, finger roll from 53 feet.
Yeah.
Former Rookie of the Year. He was Rookie of the Year, right? Tyreek Evans?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, our boy Bellis Smalley.
I gotta look up Bellis Smalley, man. We're about to learn some lessons. We gotta learn some history today.
Smawley. Yeah.
Bellis Smalley.
Isn't this the artist you told me was on OVO?
No, what?
Smalley.
Wait, spell that name
Smiley.
again. No, that's different. That's very different.
Smawley. Yeah. Yeah.
Dennis.
Belus. Belus. Balut. Yo, terrible name there. I apologize to every name on earth, man. Yeah.
Guys, there's no way. I mean, he looks exactly the way you think he would look, man.
Yeah.
Oh
Can you
my
throw
God.
up a photo for the chat?
Yeah,
or
hold on. Let me save this
we're gonna
image.
deep dive into my boy BS. Yo, the BS report over here.
Wow, God.
We got the BS report.
Hold on, guys. We got to learn who this man is.
Don't ever show me a graphic on Twitter. I will bring it to the 6-pack.
Oh man.
Holy. Yo, this is taking so long, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Apologies to the podcast audience.
I'm uploading a
This
picture
guy's
from
uploading a
from
photo
years
of a
ago.
player from 1948 right
Wait,
now.
okay. Hold on. Why is this not saving?
Yo,
Goodness,
it's
man.
probably in like a format from 1948. It's like
Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Hold on.
it's ms.paint.
Here we go.
All right, here's our guy.
We got to learn some history, man.
There he is. There he is.
You got a crazy
Yo,
wingspan,
Yo,
man.
that's a crazy wingspan, man.
Yo, this guy won. Come on, man.
Holy.
This is what happens if you put Joe Wolf on and Cash together.
Yo, this is insane, man.
This is Joe Wolf on and Cash as one person.
I know
man.
this man was a problem back in the day.
No, look at him, man. He was crazy.
Yo, that's insane, man.
Yo, I feel like at some point, I guess people evolved, or I guess people invented like jerseys.
Yeah.
Because like before jerseys came,
No, this is what the Cavs wore when they beat the Warriors, man. Those jersey shirts.
yeah, the jerseys. Yeah.
This is insane, man.
No, hold on.
Yo.
I can't even download some of these photos. I gotta screenshot it and then upload this screenshot. But
Yeah.
these old uniforms are like so crazy to me, man.
Yo, imagine.
How do they
being-
shoot with this?
Imagine being an NBA fan in the 1940s, like.
You had to have no other hobbies,
No,
man.
but
Look
it's
at him. Look at him, man. You
Yeah,
got
but
knee
it-
pads. You got soccer socks.
No, but it's like you didn't live to get to see like MJ and like Kobe,
Bro,
LeBron.
is he wearing jorts? He's wearing a belt. They were playing basketball with a belt on.
No, it's insane, man. It's honestly insane. All right, number 4.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Number 4 is this a thing? You see my guy Kawhi scored 25 points in the first half against Brooklyn tonight.
Yes, sir.
I believe beat them by like 40 plus, or they were leading by 40 plus.
Big Y, 32-point win for the LA Clippers, your LA Clippers.
Yeah, in his last 11 games, Kawhi's averaging 25 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.6 steals. This is all from Dan Devine from Yahoo. Clippers are plus 7.5 per 100 possessions with him on the floor, which would be the 4th best net rating over the whole season. And they have the 2nd best 5-man unit in the NBA in Kawhi, Norm Powell, James Harden, Big Zoo,
Yep.
and our guy Derek Jones Jr. Clippers have been playing great lately. They're competing with the Wolves and Warriors for the 6th seed right now. Could move past the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
who have a new coach.
What's the coach name again?
I don't know, man. Tuomis. Anyways, yeah, man, it's annual tradition of me talking myself into the Clippers in late March.
Yeah.
And it's gonna blow up in the first round, but man, Clippers, man. Clippers
Yo,
are coming again.
You know what?
Yeah.
I do like the Clips. Out of all the iterations of the Clippers, I probably like this one the best.
Yeah.
First
Because you
off,
hate Paul George.
I mean, man, I got Paul George's sneakers, man. How much can I hate PGs
Yo.
if I got the PGs?
Streets are saying they hope Norm goes off in the first round and calls himself Playoff P.
Yo! Oh, man. I mean, Norm Powell's playoff resume actually speaks for
You know what?
itself.
He already is Playoff P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the buck hunter, man.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So Clippers right now are tied with the Warriors for the 6th seed. 6th spot would get you Denver right now, although potentially Houston.
Tough matchup.
Potentially, I think
Everyone wants Houston.
Everybody wants Houston. Everybody at the bottom wants Houston. Everybody at the top wants Memphis. I think.
Yeah, Memphis or Houston are probably the two first round opponents.
If I'm OKC, like they're gonna beat Minnesota, I think, but I think Minnesota would give them like at least a series. I still take OKC, but like I'm thinking that might go 6.
Well, I mean, OKC just recently beat the Clippers with no Chet Holmgren and no Jalen Williams.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking Minnesota too. Like even if you're like looking at Minnesota, I don't know what to make of Golden State. I know they've been playing great with Jimmy, but like
they're up and down. Some of it feels like smokes and mirrors.
Yeah, I'm not that worried if I'm a top team. Like if I'm OKC, I'm not that worried. But outside of OKC, every team is beatable in the first round. Like, would you be shocked if Denver went out in round 1? They're shaky too, man.
I'd be a little shocked, but also at the same time, I feel like Denver defensively have just been a little lacking. They've also missed. Guys just keep missing time for them as well. But I suppose that's better than just all the players being run into the ground. It feels like nobody off their bench really makes any impact,
right?
Unless it's Westbrook. So and how much do you really trust Westbrook even with a good season?
Yeah.
But I mean, the Clippers. I got to say, like, are you still salty about the Clippers? I feel like I don't know. I've reached the point now where I'm like, if they win, I'm not as mad about it anymore. Like there was certainly a 5-year period where I definitely rooted against the Clippers because they stole Kawhi from us.
Yeah, once they didn't win the championship in that window, I was okay because the expectations was Kawhi and Paul George were gonna probably maybe win a title, make the finals, the first 2 years there,
right?
And then the first year was the pandemic.
Yeah,
they blew the 3-1. A lot of injuries after that, right?
A lot of injuries. Every year in the injuries.
Yeah, even the one year they made the conference finals, Kawhi got hurt by the second round and was out.
A lot of Terrence Mann.
Yeah, a lot of Terrence Mann, the untradeable. Wait, is he still on the Clippers?
No, he's actually gone. He got traded for Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Oh, yeah.
And Bogdanovic has actually done a great job.
That's right.
Because he's now calling himself, he's like good friends now with James Harden.
Yeah, because he got invited to one Adidas party. Yeah.
But he gave himself a great nickname, which is Unovich.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Which is kind of fire too. But like,
I
actually kind of like this iteration of the Clippers. Like, I'm rooting for Norm. I'm always gonna root for Kawhi. I mean, if the Clippers won, I would have still been happy for Kawhi himself.
Yeah. No, to answer your question,
Paul George is gone. James Harden's having a really good year.
Yeah, I love James Harden.
Zubac is great.
I'm over the like Clippers hate thing. Like I think they're a good team to watch too. The thing about the Clippers I like is like they have a clear identity.
Yeah,
like they are a defensive team. Like they're very strong on defense, and like Zubac will give you some like great games.
Yeah, Zubac randomly put up like 20-20.
Yeah, just and it's like a very old school big type of guy, right? Like on certain matchups, like he'll get you those numbers, and then you know what you're getting from Kawhi if he's healthy and right.
Dude, Kawhi is when he's healthy, a top 5 playoff player. No doubt.
But again,
right
it's like
top 5.
This man, if he pulls up with tendonitis with 5 games left in the regular season, it's over. Like,
Yeah.
he might not feel great after 2 games in the first round and stuff. It's over.
Yeah.
But man, like the Clippers have done this so many years now, where
Right.
they look great for a stretch in the regular season,
Yeah,
and
it's
they're doing it
usually
again right now.
it's usually January and March.
Yeah, it's usually when Kawhi's ramping up.
Oh yeah, they got Ben Simmons, they got Patty Mills,
Oh yeah, I forgot they got BS, man.
they got members east of the DVP. And
Yo, they got BS. Anyways,
elite line.
I hope they avoid OKC in the first round. I think whoever else they play, they've got a shot.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I guess I'm curious. Like outside of Philadelphia, like is there any team that Raptor fans are not happy with anymore? I mean, Boston's
Boston, I think you always root
you
against.
always kind of hate Boston. Milwaukee's always kind of like fun to see.
I
the
think
Raptors
people
beat
have a
Milwaukee,
thing just
but-
against LeBron because of LeBronto. Or people just don't
Yeah,
like LeBron.
But we just never see LeBron anymore.
Yeah, but I think people still root against LeBron maybe for that reason.
Yeah.
Like Raptors fans, I don't know. Raptors fans are pretty petty, man. Yeah,
Yeah, we are pretty petty. You're right, man.
Yeah, Miami.
We got smoked for Thad Young right now.
Yeah, Miami,
It's
I don't
crazy.
care. Chicago, I don't care. Orlando, Atlanta, Milwaukee. I guess we like when Milwaukee fails.
No, it's fun to root against Milwaukee, but I mean, I've never
Yeah.
like going out of my way to root against Milwaukee. Like,
Yeah,
Clippers were
someone's-
for
yeah.
sure that team I was rooting against, and then I guess the last 2 years I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like if they win, I'm happy for Norman and Kawhi. You know.
Yeah, someone said Knicks for suing us, but the Knicks have done more good for us than bad. Like over
Yeah.
the course of like our franchise's history.
Every time we make a trade with the Knicks, it goes well.
Yeah, so I appreciate the Knicks. Yeah.
Someone
All
said
right.
they hate the Bulls from the play-in. I mean,
You should
I
hate the
guess.
Raptors.
Oh, shouts to J.R. Manatee. Whoever has Tristan Thompson, we hate that team. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Tristan Thompson, not welcome, man. Not
Oh,
welcome.
yeah, I can't believe this season we're gonna remember. What are we gonna remember, man? Tanking, Colin Castleton, and Darko beefing with Tristan Thompson.
Hey, man, give out of all the people from Brampton, you know what? Give me AJ Lawson.
Yeah.
Give me Keyshawn Mystery.
Mm.
Give me anyone else from Brampton. Give me
That's all
Jesse
you know.
Reyes.
Yo, your connections in Brampton don't run that deep.
Give me Roy Woods. And then give me Tristan Thompson at the end, man.
Oh my god, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, shouts to JR.
All right, number 5 here.
Let's go.
Is this also a thing? The Mavs are undefeated with AD in the lineup. Do you think they're going to hold off? The Phoenix Suns, who embarrassed themselves at home, got blown out by the Celtics earlier this week. Do you think the Mavs are going to hold on to that 10-10 spot?
When you say undefeated with AD in the matchup, do you mean they're 2-0?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, because I'm like, wait, hold on. Did I miss out on some more AD games? Did he
Actually,
get
it might be
injured on
3-0. I think he played twice this week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus his debut. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because the Suns, it looked like the Suns
Bro,
were going to
who's-
pass the Mavs.
Yeah, but the Suns are not serious, man.
The
You know.
Suns are terrible. They got blown out by the Celtics at home without
Yep.
Tatum.
Yep.
And like there's only like 6-7 games left. Like right now I think Dallas is still in the 10th seed.
They're up on Phoenix by 1 game. It might
Right.
come down to tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Honestly, Phoenix has just not played well enough all season to even deserve a chance of the play-in.
It just this is why they need a cutoff because I don't know, man. It's so embarrassing.
I was
'Cause, like-
watching. I was watching one of the Suns games recently. Like like sometimes you just throw a game on the TV while you're cooking or something, like something in the
Yeah.
background, right? So then I think I heard a snippet and I wasn't totally sure, but they're like, yeah, they've been like one of the big fixes has been like they started calling Gillespie, but like he's on a
No,
2-way
man.
contract for them, and
No,
2-ways
man.
aren't eligible to play for the playoffs, so they got to sign him just so that he could play in the playoffs. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
No, man. If
Why
if
do
the
you have
guy,
KD and Devin Booker and you're starting a 2-way, man? What are you doing?
it's because Bradley Beal's back's hurting, man.
They're like, we literally have a 2-way versus Bradley Beal. That's nuts to me, man.
If your wild card player sounds like a PGA player who went up against Tiger Woods, like it's not happening.
Colin Gillespie.
Gillespie minus 16 heading into Sunday.
Oh wow, he might get the Masters coat. man.
Tradition like no other. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the worst race for a play-in spot. I mean, I'm sure there's been worse, but this year this is the worst one, man.
It's been pretty tough.
Yeah.
I'm also keeping my eye on Sacramento. Sacramento looks like they're on the brink of like blowing it up too. I think I saw some reporter like, oh, they gotta give DeMontis Sabonis reassurances that they're gonna try to keep winning, and I'm like, who wants to reassure DeMontis Sabonis, man?
Yo.
Go run your stupid little dribble handoff and just.
It's
like,
not
you know,
even no hate
I'm
against.
not-
Yeah,
I'm not trying to manage Sabonis' feelings, man.
I'm
That
not
is
trying to
a
lock
championship player,
in
I'm sorry.
Sabonis for a play-in team, man.
It's
Like
it's a lot of money for a dribble handoff. I'll just say that much.
no, that you know it'd be hilarious if they fired Doug Christie, and then Taylor Jenkins is their coach by the play-in,
Honestly, not out of the realm of
and then they
possibility
see
with
Memphis in the first round.
it's totally possible with the Sacramento Kings just based on their history.
Finally, number 6 here.
Let's go.
Trivia for you, okay? So Will Chamberlain's coming back here. So Will Chamberlain leads in NBA history. He has the most games with 25 plus points, 15 plus rebounds, and 90% from the field. 90 plus percent from the field.
Wow, who's second? Jakob?
See, I want you to guess who has the second most, and he is an active player.
So
he recently put up this stat line this week.
So 25 plus
points, 15 plus
plus
rebounds, and shooting at least 90% from the field.
90% from the field.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Wilt is number 1 all time, and
this player is active in the NBA
this
right now.
active player is
it DeAndre Jordan?
Number 2. No, that's a good guess.
Yeah, DeAndre shoots a high
DeAndre
percentage.
Jordan's leading the league in friendships these days.
Is it
Don't look
Andre
in the chat.
Drummond?
Nope, not Drummond.
Who goes that crazy from the field, man?
Yeah.
And gets a lot of rebounds. Is it a
Someone-
superstar? Are they a star player?
Ooh, that's a great question that I actually. Some would consider him a star. A star? No, not a. He's an integral part of a winning team. Yeah.
He's a
Someone
integral
says
part
Will
of a
leads the
winning
league in records with no evidence.
team. Did he have tape? Did he have film?
The
No,
lights. The
then it
lights,
wasn't Wilt.
The lights were too bright for this guy.
Oh, Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared
Allen
Allen
Wow.
is number 2 all time with the most games. Earlier this week, he
Wow.
had 29 points, 16 rebounds, and was 10 of 11 from the field.
Hey, man, you know what? Salute to Jared Allen for being the most important big on a playoff team. Man.
Ah, man.
To his playoff team, I mean, sorry.
Perfect for the agenda. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Evan Mobley now shooting 90% from the field? Come on, man. No proficiency awards for...
So,
for the
that's the 6-pack.
All right. Pretty good six-pack, man. You really brought it tonight. I liked all the research. I
Yeah.
like that. You even talk ball. I could tell how confident you are about the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
You're home away from home. So
You can really, guys, for anyone who wants to do this at home, you can really fake this stuff. Yeah.
goodness.
You can really just watch wrestling, baseball. This stuff is not that hard.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, Tangerine Q&A.
It is time now for the Tangerine Fan Inbox. We want to let you know that Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, an official partner of the. Hold on, Alex. Let's.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Let's get the assets up as we say this, man.
My bad.
Big shouts to Tangerine for being the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, official partners of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada, and of course, not just fans of basketball. They are fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who stand 5 inches on the TV all night. Fans who have their own nickname for each guy in the starting five. I'm gonna need a new nickname for Cole Swider out of you, Alex Wong.
Okay.
I got Swider Man.
Sounds like what they serve at Real Sports.
Oh, some cold sliders.
Cold sliders. Yeah.
I was actually at Real Sports last night, so shouts to
That's
to
right.
Real Sports. Yeah, it was a nice event.
Shouts to Rob.
Big shouts to Rob. Yeah, and of course, if you're hearing this, there's no doubt in your commitment. Fans like you are the heart of what makes this game great. So this year, for the Raptors' 30th anniversary, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands to celebrate in the way Raptor fans support their team, because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. And again, we will announce in an upcoming episode ways that you can win tickets to go see the Toronto Raptors before the season is over, actually, because Tangerine is going to hand off a lot of tickets on the way. But we'll let you know about how to do that in due time. But right now, we want to hear from you guys in the chat. Alex, what have people been saying, man?
Yeah. First question here. G wants to know, how has Yak taken a leap this year? It's been very impressive.
I have to say, it was interesting the other game when San Antonio was here. One of the reporters, and I'm sorry to that man, I forgot his name, but he asked the question of how Jakob has become so aggressive on offense, because he brought along the tidbit that when Jakob was in San Antonio, Pop was always trying to get Jakob to dunk the ball, to be more aggressive, to look at the rim more and more. And it seemed like this season that part has actually finally been added to his game. And I think I really do credit Darko for believing that everyone can improve. Sometimes it does feel like he's trying to sell you a little bit. You know, it's like, we're trying to improve everybody. But I think people just assume that, like, you're a rookie, and by the end of your rookie skill contract, you just stop improving. And I think that like it's a couple of things. Number one, I think with Jakob is a system change. They went from having him just be the screener and roller in Nick Nurse's offense, obviously trying to create space for Pascal, trying to create space for Fred VanVleet, as the roller who rarely touched the ball, to a guy who touches the ball a lot now as a facilitator at the high post. He's obviously playing pick and roll quite a bit now too, but extending that range on the floater, I mean, it feels like right now he'll shoot it anywhere from free throw line and in, that little push shot. He's always had moves going to the basket. That's always been nice. But, him shooting the corner three recently, him improving his free throw percentage. And I think more than anything else, it's also just him maturing. I feel like Jakob's leadership this season has been really underrated. I feel like he's actually been a really cool head for the whole situation. And I think it translates both on and off the court. When he's actually on the court, you could definitely tell that like the Raptors are just like 100 times better with Jakob on the court. So, yeah, big shouts to Jakob, man.
Big shouts. Late to class said, because the Raptors won their third in a row, pizza party, and I don't even care anymore what happened to the game. I love. Yeah, the Raptors have been winning too much, man. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's right. No more pizza parties. You know what? I actually like that Darko has ditched some of the more gimmicky sort of aspects. I think last year his intention was basically he wanted to increase the togetherness of the team by just taking them out to team dinners a lot. So like they would make a lot of efforts to go for team dinners on the road. You'd be surprised how many teams aren't that connected. But I think you could really tell that the Raptors are pretty connected. The pizza party thing was kind of like a fan invention. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, I think Pascal said that like, Darko told us if we win 3 games in a row, we'll go out for dinner. And then that turned into like Darko throw a pizza party for people.
By the time it was done, half the guys were already traded.
By the time it was done, it literally took until March for that to happen last year. Like they didn't have the 3-game win streak until March. And so it kind of became this like, point of it was a little embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, I think he's really come into his own this season, and you don't have to rely so much on these gimmicks anymore. Yeah. So that's good.
Let's see what else. Oh, here's a donation.
Let's go.
$2.79.
Yeah, what can you buy with $2.79 in Toronto, man?
From Boy. Who? I don't know. Can't even get on the TTC with that, right?
I was gonna say, you cannot get on the TTC. You may be able to get like, you probably can get a can of Coke or like like a pop somewhere.
Yeah. That shit's running $2 now.
Inflation's crazy, man. Yeah, I used to just like have $5 and go to like middle school, and then you can have whatever you want, man.
Yeah,
literally $5 is like a golden ticket
TI,
to society.
Man. You can have whatever you like.
Yo, but basically, you could buy whatever you want. Patty was like 60 cents.
Yeah,
you can get a patty and a pop for literally like $1.50, like easily, no problem, man.
Yeah,
and this was not that long ago.
You sound like that Smalley guy in the 1940s talking about how you could go to a game and buy a hot dog for 20 cents.
It probably was 5 cents back then, man.
No, because you ever see those old photos with like, the menus and the prices, and you're like, damn, man. Yeah.
You ever see housing prices back then? It was like $500 for it.
Yo, imagine just
pulling
out
an entire farm.
Yo, imagine just pulling out like $500 bills and be like, "Yeah, man, I'll grab this condo."
Oh man,
yo, that's insane. Buying a condo with a wallet is crazy.
I was just watching an episode of Mad Men before the Raptors Hornets game tonight, and there's a scene. I mean, spoiler alert, I suppose, but like, there's a scene where she's like leaving to go to a different company,
right?
And she goes to like Cutler, Gleason, and Chaw's company, and so she's trying to discuss like her salary, and so she wrote down she wants to be the copy chief, the head copy chief, and then she wrote down her salary, and it was $18,000.
Yeah, but that was a big amount.
And Chaw, like the boss that she was interviewing with, like scratched the number on and wrote 19,000, and she was like so stunned and so touched. And I'm like, yo, 19 grand right now would be crazy.
This is like at companies when they like give you that little 3% bonus or whatever.
19. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh at people's money. I'm just being like, anyway, that show's set in the 60s. So
no,
it makes perfect
this
sense.
is the most out of touch we've ever been.
Also, it used to be $5 footlongs exactly. Now it's like they're like, yo, $7 for a 6-inch sub. I'm like, damn, we can't even get $1 per inch anymore.
No, shouts to Subway, man. Let's do some business. Anyway, so question from $2.79 Homeboy.
Let's go. Shouts to Homeboy.
In what year will the Hornets make the playoffs? So I'll make this more interesting. More interesting for you. So I have a bet with my boy John that I think I did in like 2012. I bet him that Lindsay Lohan would win an Oscar by 2030. So
Okay.
I have how many years? Shit, I only have 5 years left. Or I think
Why
I
are
have
you guys
to pay
betting
him,
on this, man?
I think I have to pay him like $1,000.
Yo, what?
No, I made this bet back in 2012. I
Yo,
had
back
18
in your
years.
era, that's probably $2,000 now, man.
So do you think the Hornets will make the playoffs first, or do you think Lindsay Lohan? Let's downgrade it to nominated for an Oscar.
I mean, I still have to go with the Charlotte Hornets, man.
Yo,
I'm
I got a
sorry.
double or nothing here. You want to bet $1,000?
No, man. What are we talking about, man? No, man. I'm gonna take these $279 from
So
Homeboy.
so you think Hornets will make
Put
the
in my
playoffs
Tangerine bank
before 2030? I will actually bet you on that.
Make the playoffs. So does play-in count? Like they
No,
have
you
to
got to
be
get
like,
into the top 8 proper.
let me see if they get Cooper Flag this summer,
Yeah, you know
and
what?
I'll circle back and make that bet.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good call. That would
Yeah.
actually be a sick bet to follow, man.
Mm.
Just grinding Hornets tape for the next 5 years.
Yo,
It's
but-
like yo, I don't like the way Mark Williams' legs are looking, man.
yo.
His back's looking tough.
I mean, look, I understand that they're tanking, and I understand that the record is not even that much like worse than the Raptors.
Yeah.
And LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller not being available, hurts. But like
Yeah.
the Charlotte Hornets every year lead the league in like, wait, he's on their team. They just have so many random players on.
Who is
their team.
your because you watched the game tonight. Who's your he's on the team guy for this year's Hornets?
Well, they mentioned at one point because I think Musa Diabate had like a and one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. And Alvin was like, "Look at Taj Gibson over there. He's excited." I'm like, "Wait, Taj Gibson's on the Hornets?"
And he's wearing some crazy number. He's like
Yeah, it's
wearing
like
Doug Gilmore's 93.
No, he got like a 67 on his back.
Yo,
They
that's
have
crazy.
Yusuf Nurkic was playing in there. By the way, Yusuf Nurkic, he has to lead the NBA for how many games played with a T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Yusuf Nurkic was born in that stupid tee, man. This guy's the real T Morant, I swear.
Was it white? Was it that little white tee or?
Yeah, well, it's either white or black, depending on sort of what.
Yeah,
but he's had a tee on his whole career, man.
Yeah. No,
He tee on Salaun, man.
Yo, a Taj Gibson Hornets jersey would legit be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what's he doing there? Like, this guy's like cosplaying Udonis Haslem.
And like how many times have they had Seth Curry, man? I feel like.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's there now.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yo, remember for like 3 months he was like sick. I guess was he on Philly? Wasn't he like a
Yeah, I think he replaced like JJ Redick or something
yeah?
as like the shooter.
And
Yeah,
I think he got dumped to Dallas. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like in my mind he's been on Charlotte many times, but he's actually only been there these last 2 years. Huh? Okay.
Really? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was there too.
Man, he's
I
played
think
for a lot of teams, man.
Because
Damn.
Del Curry was calling games for them.
Oh man, he's played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams.
Yeah, that's pretty
good for Seth
surprising
Curry,
for
man.
a guy like Seth because he's not like terrible.
No, he's like a pretty good shooter.
Although I will say I have not heard from Seth Curry in a few years.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you tune into the Charlotte Hornets, man.
Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Raptors fan asks, what's your take on the Stephen A. LeBron thing and media relationship with players in general? Personally,
Man.
I'm so tired of this storyline from every side of it.
I
It's
think
not interesting.
right. Well, traditionally, the idea for media was you're reporting the story. You are not the story.
Right.
Like that's just traditionally how it's been. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably ideally how it should be. But I think we live in a society now where it's not who is the best that gets rewarded. It's who gets the most attention that's rewarded. And attention could be both positive and negative. But as long as you are somebody that moves the needle, somebody that people will talk about, some people that people will watch, some people like listen to, like, you know, whether they hate watch you or they love watch you, like it's just if you draw that attention, you know, that comes with it. I mean, like that what that really does is it really incentivizes like these type of situations where you might even go out of your way to talk about a player so that you can get that sort of response. Now, of course, Stephen A is like successful enough that he doesn't need to quote unquote bait LeBron into doing this. I think he was just giving his take on Bronny. I think that Bronny as somebody who's in the NBA is up for evaluation. Now, he probably gets evaluated way more than any other 55th pick in NBA history. But it's still within Stephen A's rights to talk about him, especially since people do care about Bronny, right? There is an interest there. So he's also, cued to talk about the situation. At the same time, though, it's gotten so personal now where, he's going at LeBron. LeBron's kind of sniping back at him. Stephen A pulled out, like, I think in a moment of, because, like, Stephen A's on TV every day for, like, 5 hours. So, like, when he says something wrong to this degree, like when he said LeBron wasn't at Kobe's, like, funeral, it's like, I think that he has to be really heated to do that because he doesn't really make that many mistakes considering the fact that he's on TV for 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
So like clearly there's emotions that really come into this too, and like I at the end of the day, like this is just I don't think it's good for it's not good for either side. I actually don't think that like the longer LeBron strings this out too, some of the stuff feels petty. Like when he was taking shots at Windhorse, and I'm like that just feels petty, man.
Yeah, I don't actually.
You know what
Bill Oram, who covers the Lakers,
Yeah.
I think Orange County Register, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
look him up, Bill Oram,
Yeah.
ORAM. He wrote a really good article about this because he actually was getting death threats a few years ago because he wrote an article that was like, I don't know, like criticizing LeBron's play like on the court or whatever, and Lakers fans didn't really like it. And he actually shared this exchange that he had with LeBron where he went to LeBron and was like, hey, like, I understand, like, you don't like the criticism, but I'm getting death threats. Like, they're, like, doxing me online, like, telling people where my family lives and stuff. Like, if you could say something
Right.
to at least just to tell the fans to back off. And he writes in the article that LeBron basically said, well, you better get a gun then. and then and then after that exchange, I think LeBron thought about it, obviously. And then a couple hours later, he actually tweeted out and was like, don't agree with this article, but let's not make it personal. Like, leave kind of Bill alone. We don't need to, like, venture into that territory. So I only share that story because, like, reading it, it's just like, listen, like, I think we it's just, like you said, it's not a good look from either side because, like, LeBron has a lot of power, too, in terms of how he can, like, push fans to say certain things. And, like, he's within every right to, like, not like the way that his son is being covered. I think that's a personal thing for him. But it's just sometimes
Stephen
like,
A did say like as a father, I'm pleading for you not to do this.
yeah,
to your
I mean, in
son.
this particular case, it is like, Stephen A has said like a lot of out of pocket stuff, but I also think like LeBron's in a way just like never been in these positions to realize like what his words could have like certain impact on people too. You know what I mean? And I thought Bill's article like shared like a different side to it.
Well, I think it is pretty crazy now because like I guess in the past, like I'm sure people criticize like Jordan, for example, like but like there wasn't like player fandom in the same way that there is now, and it's like so fervent. There's like what I mean, back in the 1990s when Jordan, like I guess before he couldn't get a title, right? It wasn't like there was someone walking around being like, I dedicate my life and my spare time to being Jordan Muse. You know what I mean? Like now that you have that for pretty much everybody. And I think I think it makes the media's job quite difficult. Now I don't think that this is like anyone's crying for the media ever, but it is always so easy to just hit at the media. It's always so easy to put agendas onto the media that like may or may not be there. It's always easy to sort of like clown the media because like you never played, you're unathletic. You know the reason you talk about it is because you can't do it itself. Who are you to talk about? You could like rip apart the media a million different ways, and we've certainly seen like not just in sports, but a lot of powerful people sort of like leverage their sort of like power over the media and even turn their own form of like their media, whether that's like social media, for example, like but basically communicate to their fans to sort of go after the media. I do feel like that. Look, I'm not saying the media is like right in most instances. I feel like there's certainly an element of this where there's a lot of people I know that do media because it serves the ego. And sometimes that's healthy, sometimes that's not that healthy. Some people are in it for the attention, but at the same time, when the media does it well, I feel like it serves both the fans and the players. And so I feel like there's got to be some people that I feel like if you play the game the right way, then you should be, freed from this sort of like interaction. For several people who go too far, then the fans have every right to go after them. Maybe obviously not in an unsafe way, but like, people deserve to be called out if they don't play the game the right way. But there's real genuine like storytellers. There's really good people who break the game down, who just talk about the game. It's not disrespectful. It's not like, trying to drive an agenda in there. And I feel like those type of people should be at least exempt. I think like it kind of lowers the bar for all media when this happens.
Yeah, man. Those are the people that are going to suffer the most. But it's like media relationship with players have just changed so much in the last even 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And just the
and
way
I don't think media should be personalities though, which
Yeah.
obviously is ironic because like you and I kind of like do that, but in a different way.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. But it's like, yeah, I mean, the bigger conversation too is like just how media is perceived in general, not just in sports. It's changing a lot now too. And I think that's impacting sports as well. Anyways,
that's fair.
Transition to finally Will wasting no time wearing the Jays hoodie that he was gifted.
Hey, it's a nice hoodie. What can I say?
He also
man?
wore it to Yorkville yesterday. Yorkville
Yo.
area.
Go
Jays.
Catch your boys at Italy.
Yeah, we made a trip. Hello and welcome. Hello, made it to Italy. Me, you, and Jerome.
Yeah, man.
Hit that pizza
Just
booth.
3 guys having focaccia.
Yeah, what did you get? I got myself a mushroom pizza, the fungi.
Got a little
for
fun
Kawhi.
guy. I got like a little squash and bait, like a balsamic vinegar.
We're out here eating Italy pizza at 11 in the morning. Surprisingly packed at that time.
Oh man, but there's a whole different subsection of society that's in Italy, by the way.
Yeah. It's Faisal Kamisa.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't realize this, but when you take the escalator down at Italy,
Says
there's
Italy,
a huge sign.
Italy is Italy?
Italy is crazy, man.
What's the Chinese equivalent? Actually, I don't want to know. God damn.
Yeah.
All right, those are all the questions. Remember, if you want to hit a Blue Jays game this weekend or next week,
That's
first
right.
homestand, just hit up bluejays.com/will15 and get 15% off. So.
Yo, that's crazy, man. We really got our own promo codes. That's sick. Shouts to the Blue Jays, man.
Shouts to the Jays.
You think the Jays gonna be good this year? Someone said, "Oh gosh, giving up on the Jays." Shapiro running that team into the ground. Yo, it's 2 games. They're 1-1.
Listen, I'm a Jays diehard. I'm always gonna be optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be optimistic.
Wait, give me your top 5 favorite Blue Jays of all time.
Oh, of all time? Damn, man. Roger Clemens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Carlos Delgado. These are not in order, by the way.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Roy Halladay. Actually,
Roy Halladay, of
would
course,
be
of course,
one.
man.
Roy Halladay,
Of course.
Carlos
Rest in peace, Roy.
Delgado.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens. His 2 years here was fire.
Didn't he win the Cy Young when he was here?
Yeah. While he was on PEDs, but that's neither
Everybody
here nor
was,
there.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
look,
neither-
if the bats are going to be juiced, I
Yo,
feel it's like only fair for the pitchers to take
If
something
everybody
too.
cheats at blackjack, it's still a 21, man.
Oh, no, this guy hit the Eddie Guerrero, man.
Jose Bautista.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I need a deep cut. Brandon Morrow. Yeah.
Brandon Morrow.
Yeah. So
Yo,
I
I was
went.
super optimistic for Brandon Morrow, man. He had some nasty stuff.
I went to a game one time where he
Yeah.
was one batter away from a no hitter.
Wow.
That was the closest I got to seeing a no hitter in person. Yeah, I was hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's pretty sick, man.
yeah. No, I'm a huge Jays head, man.
I mean, you do live not to dox you, but you live quite close to the arena.
No, but baseball was really the first sport I started watching when I came here as a young little immigrant.
Wow, really?
Young little immigrant child.
Because we weren't watching baseball in China.
No, but there was
no one was watching baseball in Hong Kong when you came over.
there was no Raptors until '95. So then I started watching the Jays because at the time, obviously they were popping.
Oh yeah. Oh, so I guess you were around for when they
I was around for the very end of the World Series run.
the second one.
Yeah, because I was here, but I didn't really watch until the very end of those playoffs.
Yeah.
When they won their second World Series. Yeah.
Got you.
When Joe Carter hit that. So I don't really associate myself with those teams, but
I feel like honestly the Jays we've been really blessed with just a lot of the Jays have attracted more stars to Toronto than the Leafs and
they've actually had a lot
the
of star
Raptors
players
in the last
Yeah.
30 years. I feel like.
Yeah.
And not to say that the Leafs haven't done a good job of bringing star players. Like, but like, you know, the I don't know. I mean, even now, like you know, like even like a Max Scherzer. I mean, like this is like a terrible comparison, but like
No,
even
but
like a George Springer, for example.
yeah,
The
but
profile
Max
which he was at,
Scherzer,
like
Max
the Raptors
Scherzer,
can't sign a George Springer level free agent. That's not even possible for us, man.
yeah, Max Scherzer is a big deal, man. I know he's like 40, he's like near the end of his career,
Right.
but
Right.
I
Well, I
mean,
guess this is like when the Raptors got Hakeem, basically.
I was gonna say, but like Scherzer could be good this year. Like he's still
Okay.
got it if he's not hurt.
Yeah.
The problem is every time he throws now, apparently the next day his thumb like really hurts. So they have to like monitor that after every start.
I don't know. That might be a pretty tough thing as a pitcher. Man.
No, but literally he's such a big name. That's why like I wanted to go see his first start tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like that. Like I really wanted to just be there. Like he's like a
Yo,
good
Scherzer
draw.
was a problem with the Nationals, man.
Yo, yeah, he was a problem with the Nats. Yo, that's crazy, man.
Yo, you don't think I play fantasy
That's me-
baseball?
That's me saying Shaq was a problem with the Lakers. Yo, that's crazy.
This Cy Young winner, he was good.
This guy telling me Juan Soto is a good hitter.
No, but like, okay, I know, for example, like we didn't get Trout, but like I don't understand how are the Blue Jays actually able to attract free agents? You know, don't players have to go through customs?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's true. But
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even,
baseball has
like-
a lot. Baseball has a lot more international players.
Okay.
Who which we talked about last time.
But
I think.
we sign Americans. George Springer's American.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, a lot of times they have to tack on extra money. Extra money.
Okay.
In
Well, I
years.
guess we don't have a salary cap, so like, the baseball doesn't have a salary cap, so
There
the
is a
Jays can
cap,
offer
like, because
more
they
money?
go into the luxury tax.
Oh, there's.
Yeah. So the Dodgers are basically paying like crazy money because like there's tax
Okay.
tacked on. But
Fair
like,
enough.
no, the Jays always have to tack on an extra year, or like extra like 20 million or whatever.
I just don't understand how like it's like literally impossible. Like it's impossible for the Raptors to sign any free agent, but the Jays can still like. I mean, I know the front office has not done well like with the current group. I'm not trying to support them, but I think in general they're still able to actually sign free agents. Like
Yeah,
even
I mean,
Hunter Ryu, who like didn't really work out here, but like that guy was a really good. Hunter Ryu on the Dodgers was a problem. Like,
No, that's crazy, man.
but like
but-
you know what I
but-
mean? Like we're not signing anybody nearly of that. Sort
You're
of
right
clout.
though. If you go through
crazy.
like Raptors history, like how many like superstars they really have, and this is not even offense. No
No,
offense.
no, of
to,
course.
like Kyle was the most important guy and is the greatest Raptor of all time,
Yeah.
but he's not a superstar.
Who do you think was a bigger deal relative to their sport? Jose Calderon, or not Jose Calderon? Jose Bautista or Kyle Lowry? Who's a bigger star in their sport? Like
Yeah.
Jose in baseball or Kyle Lowry in
Oh,
basketball?
Bautista for sure, because he was like 50 plus home runs at 1 year,
Yeah,
like one of the best in the league. Yeah.
right. Like he was like an MVP candidate.
Bautista
AL
and
MVP candidate.
Bautista and Encarnacion would be like compared to like those whatever big twos you have in like basketball, like Steph and Clay even.
Okay, relax.
No, but hitters though, hitters on that level, come on.
I don't know, man. But we were blessed, man.
What do
2016,
you know,
man.
Scherzer on the Nets?
we had well, come on, man. We had Kyle and DeMar in the wintertime, and then we had Edwin and Jose in the
Yo.
summertime. That was blessed, man. We were
Those
actually
are-
blessed.
So one more baseball thing because you brought it up. So like the super agent in baseball is Scott Boras.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
like
you've
their
heard
Rich
of him.
Paul, basically.
Yeah, he's the guy. So then he loves to give puns because like every year the free agency happens at these winter meetings
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
take place.
Right,
It's-
right.
it's- so then like he'll always hold court and he'll make puns. So there was one time there was this pitcher called Tidjaun Walker, Taijuan.
Yo, man, Taiwan Walker was a problem on the Mariners.
And
man.
you know what he said? He said Taiwan is on an island, but it's a question of who's willing to pay.
Yo, that's fire. That's so good.
Yo,
It's so good.
it's so good. I've had it screenshotted on my phone for like 3 years. I just found it.
That's on the same level of shouts to Asian girls, let the lights dim some.
No, he literally said Taiwan is on an island and who's willing to pay. That's one of the hardest bars I've ever heard.
Yo, shouts to these super agents, man.
Yo, shouts to Scott Boras, man. He'd be squeezing money out of the Jays every year. No, because Ryu was his guy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say Springer was his guy too. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know.
but yeah, shouts to Jays for having the stars. They don't have the team success. Like obviously the Raptors have been the most successful, like I guess, team
yeah.
in the city
God,
for the
we-
last like 10 years.
I
But
know people don't want to hear this, but it's like we almost got Otani, man. Like we were number 2. I know
oh
it doesn't-
brother, come on,
No,
man.
but-
Let's not do this.
No, the fact that we were number 2 counts for something, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like we were number 2 in the Otani race? You feel like that
No.
really helped us last
Yo,
year?
but the fact that he even considered the Jays, man.
Yo, get out of here.
No,
man.
but he's
No
not
way.
cause he's not considering like the Kansas City Royals. Like that's a win. No, that means no. This is like Masai being
crying,
like,
man.
this is Masai being like, yo, one day a superstar is gonna choose Toronto and plant his roots here. One day.
Bro, no
One
way
day-
you're touting that we were number
one-
2 for Otani.
One day,
man.
you don't understand my Jays.
Yo,
fandom.
how many free tickets did the Blue Jays give you, man?
Yo,
You've been
don't,
bought, man.
No, you don't
Jesus
understand.
Christ.
You don't understand my Jays fandom. I think my Jays fandom is like your Raps fandom, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Because with the Raps, I'm like whatever. Yeah.
What are we doing?
When they're
man?
bad, they're bad.
All right, chat. Let us know if you want us to do Blue Jays topics in the
No, we're not
summertime,
doing
man.
Blue Jays. Yeah.
What do you mean? You love the Jays, man. Look at
Yeah.
you.
No, it's all good. It's all
guy-
good. Yo, we were number 2, guys.
You dress like Lyle Overbay with the hat right now. Man.
We were number 2, man.
This guy got Jesse Litch's fit on, man.
Donkey's like, this is like saying the Raptors were number 2 in their series against the Cavs.
I can't believe you're talking about Otani as a positive, man.
Yo, he visited our spring training facilities, yo. I didn't see him. I don't see him going to Cleveland and visiting those facilities that they have in Florida or whatever.
Tell me he finessed a free trip to Florida?
So apparently the story is he went and got a bunch of Jays merch, which I really respect. Like he left with like 4 bags of Jays merch.
Look at me. I got free Jays
No,
merch
he-
too. Am
yo,
I number 2 to Otani?
Yo, he's a big scammer, man. He's honestly a
crying,
big
man.
scammer.
Yo, I'm actually crying. Yo.
All right, 3 stars.
3 stars. Raptors Hornets. Let's lock in, guys. Big win for the Raps, 108-97. Raptors improved to 27-47. Your 3 stars from tonight's performance. Jakob Poeltl, your first star, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 26 minutes, 12 of 14 from the field. That's right. We were talking about Raptors Hornets at the start of this hour and a half. Your second star, I'm going to give that to Jamal, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals off the bench. Not shown here in the box score, but he forced an 8-second count on Nick Richards. No, not Nick Richards. Sorry, that's the other wrong. Nick Smith Jr. Sorry, they have so many Nicks. Actually, Nick Richards is now the Suns. Anyway, whatever. But Jamal Shead, great game. We're really happy to have you. And then your third star, I'll give this IQ. I liked IQ's process tonight offensively. 19 points in 27 minutes, hit 5 threes, 9 assists tonight with only 1 turnover. Very efficient night for IQ at the point guard position. Your Gerald Henderson Award winner for who. I mean, it's probably Tidjaun Salaun, honestly. Like, I think the numbers, I don't know. It's a rookie, so, like, I'm not trying to harp on anything like that. But, like, somebody pointed out to me, like, Tidjaun was averaging 5 points a game on 32% shooting and 29% from 3, which was kind of crazy to me.
Tidjaun Salaun. Oh, can I get an $8 buzz cut there? Where's he at, man? Dundas, Medina?
Yo, I used to get some of those Chinatown haircuts, man.
Holy, man.
The worst part was one time I brought my little brother there to get a haircut at one of those Chinatown spots. I was like, the board outside says $8 for a men's cut. So I'm like, all right, I'll take my little brother. He's like 12 years old. I'm like, all right, go there.
Yeah.
While you're there, I'm going to go across the street to Juicy Dumplings, get us like, I don't know, like 2 packs, 2 6-packs of dumplings. That's probably going to cost you $5. Walk across the street, spend $8 for the haircut plus a tip. The whole thing could be done for $20, let's just say.
Yeah.
By the time I literally went across the street, got the dumplings, which was served in like a minute, and it came back, his haircut was already done and it was already messed up. So
that's crazy.
So that's Tidjaun Salaun. But yeah, Tidjaun actually did a good job tonight, man. 12 points, happy for him, 14 rebounds. Quite an athletic Frenchman. He was a number 6 overall pick last year. Hasn't really got going. Quite frankly, doesn't look that skilled just yet. But, has a good body for potentially being a good player. So that's it. That's your React Pod from tonight's game. We covered everything from the Grizzlies ball screens. We got the Blue Jays talk.
We were second on Otani. We had the highest offer to Juan Soto, highest offer to Corbin Burns. We got Roki Sasaki to come in.
Who is that?
Visit the Rogers Center. Like, we are so close. We are so close. We're gonna get like 2 superstars in the next like 3 off seasons, man. We're so close.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I do love the Jays too. I do miss the time where I was like tapped in every single night, listening to Blue Jays on the radio.
Yeah,
Shouts to Mike Wilner with Jays talk. I always felt like really wanted to, do a version of that myself with a call-in show. Eventually did that.
Someone is like, now we have the highest offer to Vladdy, and it's not close. God damn it!
Yeah, how about we sign our own players? By the way, how come with I guess with the Raptors it doesn't really factor in, but like Because like the Raptors re-signed Scottie last year for like the max contract. Like everyone was like, "This is great, it's awesome," right?
Sure.
But like it feels like every time any one of like Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner or Willie Nylander, like when they come up for extensions, it's like a big story that's like, are they being greedy? Why can't you give us a discount? Blah blah blah. Like this. Because the same thing for the Jays. Like,
well, hockey's super capped out. Like,
okay,
everyone's making PJ Tucker money. Like the
but
top
so
players
what
are
though?
getting like
those are your star players.
No, but the Leafs are a crazy disadvantage because they technically obviously make the most money out of the whole league because it's Toronto.
Okay,
so they should be the Dodgers and be able to spend like $200 million in hockey, but the cap basically makes every team have to spend the exact same.
Wait, hold on. What's the cap? Let me see.
The cap is like probably like 80 million or something like that, or probably a bit higher, but it's like low. Because the top players in hockey make like 13 million.
No, man.
No, and the Leafs have a crazy top-heavy team.
Right.
And then it means that every year they have to like maneuver and try to get like the rest of the pieces with like pennies.
No, but
you know the NHL has a scam where you can put players on long-term injury reserves.
Okay.
So if you put them there, they're out for the regular season, and then they can come, and then their money doesn't count.
Oh.
And then they can come back in the playoffs.
This is what the Clippers should have done with Kawhi.
Yeah, this is what
imagine the Clippers could say, Kawhi, you don't play the whole regular season. We put you on long-term IR,
and then we
boom,
add
we'll
a guy with your money. Yeah. No, when you put a guy there, it frees up the money. So Tampa did that. Vegas did that.
Oh yeah,
it's like a huge. Like they're just out for 2 months, and then suddenly they're ready for Game 1 of the playoffs. It's like a loophole. Yeah.
That does sound pretty. Shouts to Joffrey loophole, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, the Leafs are getting screwed, bro.
No, but the funny thing with I know this is just hockey like salaries, like there's nothing to do with the Leafs here, but the fact that people are sweating guys making 11 million.
No, but you don't understand. If they sign too many guys to 11 mil, like the Leafs basically can't afford to have 6 PJ Tuckers.
You guys are so broke. 11 million for William Nylander. That sounds good. A good idea.
If they have 6 PJ Tuckers, then they're gonna have to sign like 11 Colin Castletons.
No, this is crazy, man. No, seriously. If you add up Marner, Nylander, and Matthews' contract,
and they have Tavares too.
Okay, your top three. If you add your top 3 players together, they make $36 million.
Yeah,
and like the Raptors just signed Brandon Ingram to a 3-year, $120 million extension.
No, it's insane.
The money just feels funny to me, man.
No, the money.
I get it. Like it's totally different popularity.
And then baseball money is insane too, because guys in baseball, like you get to keep young players for really cheap for a really long time.
Yeah, you exploit them for like 10 years, and then you
for
overpay
like
them for the next 10.
time. But then once they get good, then you got to pony up like 200, 300, 400 million for these guys.
No, but baseball free agency is nuts, man. Like, what do you mean Juan Soto signed for 700 mils?
No, the biggest scam, not even a scam, is like starting pitchers because they only go 30 times a year. Like they play 30 games a year and they get paid like 200 plus million. It's insane.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's the hardest thing to do, but like from just a labor hours standpoint. I know they got to prep and all this stuff, but like, they're spitting seeds 4 out of 5 days.
Speaking of labor hours, you remember last year at this time we were doing 2-hour Raptor shows, man. This is actually how much time a 2-hour Raptor show would be.
Man. I quit my
an hour
job
40.
already, man.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. We've covered all the teams in Toronto.
We were number 2 for Ohtani, man.
Number 2 for Ohtani. Number 1 in Basketball Podcast. Hit the like on the way out. Write us a review. Let us know if you want more Jays content because, quite frankly, Raptors content these days not moving. But we are all here every night for the post-game show. We'll be back on Sunday when the Raptors, for some reason, play again. And we will all see you then. But thanks everyone for listening. This has been the Hello and Welcome Podcast presented by Betway.